Hello there. How are you? Let's move that out of the way. Let's do that and turn that to there. Ah, it's Friday. Was there a problem with the legs or hips, or was I mistaken? Oh, on our thingy. We'll get to that, Adrian. Don't worry. We'll get to that. I will cover that off with you. But hello all. Hello all. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome one. Welcome all to Minis-N-Muscles. The place where the brawn meets the paintbrush. The place where every week we have, over the past 80 weeks, that is, because this is the 80th show that I've done. So over the past 80 weeks, we have been painting miniatures from all over Warhammer and the D&D realm, and we're now starting to build out a Gundam model, which is pretty god darn cool. So we paint miniatures, we build miniatures, and we talk geek whilst we do it. So we talk about Warhammer, Dungeons & Dragons, comic books, Pokemon, Gundam, retro gaming, computer gaming, whatever it is, I will talk about it. And we have a nice friendly environment where we can all get together. Just turn up the music a bit there because it sounds a little quiet. We're a nice friendly environment where we can get together on a Friday night and chat. How are you all? I don't know how you all are, but I hope you are well, and I hope you've had a wonderful week. Please do remember that you can drop in the chat at any time, so stick your comments in the chat. If you don't know how the show works, we have 3 parts to the show. Part 1 is our generalised conversation. And for our 80th stream, our generalised conversation is going to be all things geekery. All things geekery, and a thank you to everybody that's been part of this journey. So that's our main theme. Then halfway through the show, we have our muscle moment. We wouldn't be the place where the brawn meets the brush if we didn't have a moment of fitness. So we talk about fitness for 5 minutes, and this week it's fitness for life. And usually we have a third part of the show, which is our hobby horror section, where something in my hobbying life goes completely wrong. Let's just turn that down. Don't want my phone pinging away, do we? So yeah, the third part of the show is normally where something in my hobby life has gone terribly wrong. We call it the hobby horror, and we talk all about that. But we're not going to have a hobby horror this week. This week, I've just realised actually, I need to do that. There you go. And then I just need to change my seating slightly. There we go. Let's just shuffle round. This week, guys, this is going to be the last Minis-N-Muscles. Yep. We have done over a year so far of Minis-N-Muscles. Well, in fact, it's almost 2 years, actually. It's almost 2 years of Minis-N-Muscles. And it's a large commitment when you've got a busy day job. And it's not quite sort of taken off in the way I thought it might. And given the commitment of my job and things like that, I'm just going to wind Minis-N-Muscles down and sort of step back from that for a little while. I might reinvigorate it at some point, but yeah, this is going to be the last Minis-N-Muscles. Okay, so if you are on the live stream now, please do say hello. Because this is going to be the last one that I do. So it'd be lovely to chat to you all whilst we go through our last live. But I hope you're all well. How are you? I always ask everyone at the beginning of the show, how are you? How are you doing? What's new in your world? What's been going on? So drop it in the chat and let me know. So there's a lovely little chat button down there where you can say hello and interact with me, so I'm not talking at myself for 2 hours like a lunatic. But my week, what has been going on? Well, it's been a busy week. Let's think. So since I last spoke to you guys, which was last week, last Friday, on the Sunday, I played Warhammer. So I played Warhammer with my buddy. It wasn't the campaign series, so we just played a normal 2,000 point game of 2,000 point game of Warhammer 40,000. It was my Sisters of Battle versus his Tyranids. It was fairly close, but I did lose, unfortunately. Hey, you win some, you lose some. I'm not too worried. But it was a good game, so it was really enjoyable. So I learnt a lot, actually, about doing different things. So Matthew Wag is in the chat. He's saying, good evening. What's happened? Well, nothing happened, actually, Matthew. If you've only just dropped in, you have missed my kind of announcement to say that this will be the last Minis-N-Muscles that I do for some time. We've been going for almost 2 years now. And it's just a mix of work commitment and the pickup of the channel and things like that. So so I'm going to sort of wind down Minis-N-Muscles. There won't be one next week. I might drop back for the occasional session, but I'm undecided yet. So that is what you've missed, Matthew. Apart from that, how was your week? How's your week been? Has it been a good one? Hopefully it has been a good one. And if you've not, if you did miss, the generalised chat for this week is just everything geek. Everything geek is going to be talked about tonight whilst we finish building our Gundam model. So I was just recapping on my week of geekiness. Oh, Joel's saying boo. Sorry, Joel. Apologies, my friend. Apologies. But, you know, you've been here since the start, Joel, so I appreciate you. In fact, I think Adrian has been here since the start as well. So especially you two long-timers, I appreciate you guys, your guys' support so far along this little journey. But recapping back on my week, I played Warhammer and I lost. Darn it. I did play Space Marine 2 with a buddy of mine online, so that was really cool, actually going through the campaign mode with him, so that was quite nice, as buddying up and playing a bit of Space Marine 2 on the PlayStation 5. What else? Oh, I've been playing loads of Zelda, so loads of Zelda on my I've got loads of Zelda on my Game Boy, so I've been playing my Game Boy and playing Zelda a lot, so that's really cool. And I'd forget how A, intoxicating the music is on a Game Boy, and B, how confusing sometimes the world map is, and when you're trying to navigate to different parts, and it takes you about 20 minutes just to get to the right bit before you even do the action that you need to do. So, excuse me. So yeah, so that has been my sort of gaming this week. No D&D or no Fallout RPG this week. So it's been fairly quiet on that front. Pokemon side, I've had no cards this week, although today I did get a delivery of 2 Elite Trainer boxes. Crikey, I've forgotten the name of the blooming thing now. They're sat over there and I can't see them. The latest one that's just come out, and the colour is green, and the name avoids my memory, but I have just started that. I've just got the boxes today, so that's cool. Joel is saying, it's okay, life, you just get one. Yeah, exactly. You do only get one life, that's very true. But I just think, like, you know, with the channel and you know, sort of circling back to my decision to have this as my last show, it's been awesome. So I've enjoyed every single moment of chatting on the weeks with the people that have joined the lives. It's been really, really good. There is the element of work, and work being something that sort of takes a lot of my time. So, for example, next week I'm away. I'm away the week after. Then I've got even my own personal holiday that's coming up. So in the next 2 months, I've got about 3 weeks that I can't even do just to work commitments and one holiday. You know, so there's a lot where I'm away. But then there's also the growth of the channel, and what I'm acutely aware of is stats not going up. So when stats don't go up, it means that you're doing something wrong. And as I've sort of talked about on the show before, I'm not a big social media person. So I don't, and I'd loathe to start posting on TikTok, and I did open an Instagram account, but it just was too much for me. I don't like social media at all, and I think that's my biggest issue, because to grow these accounts, really, you do have to hammer home the social media, and that's not just me as a person. If I had the opportunity to, I could probably pay someone, you know, a menial sum to be able to do all the content for me. That would be quite nice. But alas, I'm not a millionaire, so you know, this is how things work. Matthew has been saying, been working on paint ideas for the Emperor's Sons. Oh, McFarlane scale Terminator. Oh, that's going to be super cool, because they come all pre-painted, right? They're super nice. I've got a couple of McFarlane models as well, unpainted ones I've got, and some Wartoon Krieg tanks. 3D printing some dreadnoughts. Oh, nice, man. Matthew, your week has been like super geeky. Optimus saying, I bet it's because of the new edition of 40k coming. No, nothing to do with the new edition of 40k, Optimus. Not at all, mate. It is purely just, you know, with the channel, it just hasn't grown and taken off like I thought it might. So we've sort of stagnated around that sort of 100 between 130 to 140 subscribers, sort of around that mark for, you know, the vast majority of being a channel. We got quite a few when we first started, and then it stopped, and then that was it, and it's just sort of stayed there. And that just means as well, so tells me something, that maybe the content isn't right, maybe it isn't what people want to see, maybe the day is completely wrong because we do this on a Friday. So, you know, there's a lot to think about there for me as a sort of as a channel, you know. So, and there's a lot to sort of get out and see if it's right, you know, and it's got to be right for everybody. Work pays for the hobby, necessary evil. Yeah, absolutely, work pays for the hobby. Yeah, which is, you know, a bit of a bummer. But talking of the hobby, this week we are going to finish our Gundam model, so I'm going to just switch across to our top-down cam. Oh, our top-down cam is not working, bear with me. Hold one moment, caller. We will go to that camera first, and then we will go across to that camera, and we should, huzzah, be in. There we go. So here's our model. We have got the head, and we have got two lovely legs. There we go, two lovely legs and a head. So Adrian pointed out something very astute of you, Adrian. We'd in the last rush on the last show, we'd put these round the wrong way, so there was one of these just the white panels facing the wrong way. But I have corrected that in post-production, and our robot is sort of getting there in terms of assembly. So we need to take a look and see where we are. Can you collab with other streamers? Matthew is saying. Yeah, I possibly could. I don't think I'm particularly big enough to collab with other streamers, though. They probably wouldn't want me on their show, in all fairness, which I completely understand. So yeah, I'm not sure on that one. But I'm going to take a bit of a break to think about it and maybe repackage things and come back at a later point. Yes, it does. When I was in Northern Ireland, I could afford GW. Yeah. Reminds me of Arky from the Transformers. Oh, cool. Yeah. I don't know which Transformer you're referring to, but it does. Gundam are very Transformery. But this, if I was thinking of the Transformers, it reminds me of the chick Transformer that turns into the motorbike. That's the one it reminds me of. But we're down here now in step 10, so we can actually build the hips to put this all together, or the waist, or whatever you want to call it. So remember, today our general chat, people, is anything geeky. So absolutely anything geeky. I've got a load of topics that I can rattle off, but if you've got a topic that you want to talk about, stick it in the chat so we can then have a discussion on it. So don't be afraid to stick in your thoughts into the chat. If you're a first-time watcher, again, jump on in here and say hello. I would love to hear from you. We are down on this part right now, so if I just zoom out just a little bit, move that up a bit. We're on this sprue, so we need to find E1 number 11, which is this big old badger bit up the top here. We can just literally take that straight off. So what are we saying? That's accurate. She was the only Generation 1 female. Ah, okay. I didn't realise that was her name. I completely forgot. But yeah, she was the chick with the that turned into the motorbike. She was super cool. I liked her very much. Good memory, that, Matthew. Good memory indeed. If this is the last one, I have to ask what the rune tattoos on your forearms say. See, I offered ages ago, because there was lots of people talking about this, about the tattoos on my arms and what they say. And I issued a challenge to people, and I said, well, if you can go through the video, pause the video, and you can identify my runes and work out what they say, I will send you a model. So you just have to email into Minis-N-Muscles. That's the letter N, Minis-N-Muscles at gmail.com. If you email in and you can decipher them, I will still send a model out to whoever can decipher it. Even if they email me and we're not doing any shows anymore, I'll still honour that and send a model out. So hey, that's still the competition. So I can't reveal. But look, there you go. If I just do this, you might be able to... No, it's that arm. There you go. Like that and like that. So there's plenty of seconds there that you can pause the video on and zoom in. And you can work that out. So we've got E1 here. We've got in 12, sorry, E11, E12. And we need, on the B1, we need 28. On the B1, we need 28. So it's all a mystery, you see. His tattoos say fancy lad. Yeah. Yeah, not quite, but good effort, good effort. Is this the... sorry, well, he's ex-Paris, so they say left and right. Oh, okay, okay, Adrian, I see where you're going there. Could be, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm an intelligent para, or semi-intelligent para, should I say. But remember, our chat this week is anything geek. So remember, if you've got something that you want to talk about this week, please do chuck it in the chat and let's have a good old debate about it, and see what's going on in the world, because I love having a good old chat with you guys. So it will be interesting to see what is happening in your thoughts whilst I try and work out how this clips together. One thing I'm really enjoying about this, actually, as a Gundam model, just sort of as a side note here, is the fact that it's all push fit. So if you've never built a Gundam model and you're just used to D&D models and Warhammer models that are all sort of pushed together and then glue, or glue together rather, this is just push fit. And it's quite nice, you know, that you don't have to get any glue out. I'm kind of enjoying that. So we've got that bit there. It's our first part. We need to then skip over here. And we need A221 and B120. So let's find that. Steve says right and left. No, you're not going to win that model with those guesses, guys. I'm going to have to say, you're not going to win the model with those guesses, unfortunately. Ah, see, I've just found another... Ah, okay, so that there is that one. It's a bit of an odd shape. So we've got that one there. We need 20 as well. So let's find 20 on our sprue, which is this one here. There we go. We need A2. Crikey. That's the thing. Now I've not picked up these sprues for a week. I've forgotten which colours were which colours were which, you know. Is this A2? Maybe. A2 21. 21. A2 21. This is B1. This one is C. Ah, that's A2. Ah, right, okay, found it. It's a tiddly widdly bit. There we go. It's just this little tiny piece on that sprue there. Right, so there's our pieces. Let's file the edges down. I say file, but cut the edges down more like. You can use a file if you want. I'm just a bit of a renegade using a knife. And yeah, I haven't replaced the blade on my knife either, so it's still raggedy. But that's alright. We'll get there. I have one tattoo and no more, not for me. Oh, okay. I really like tattoos. I quite like them. I would like another, but it's just, they are very expensive, so that's that sort of limiting factor, I think, for tattoos for me. They're just the cost. They're very expensive, you know. So drop it in the chat and let me know how your week has gone, guys. How has it been? What have you been up to? So we heard earlier from Matthew doing loads of stuff, from 3D printing to building dreadnoughts to all the rest of the shenanigans that he's been up to. So it's good to hear from you, Matthew. What about the rest of you? Adrian, what have you been doing? Joel, what have you been doing? And anyone else that's watching that I haven't mentioned. Utrinque Paratus, no, it doesn't say that. No, it doesn't say ready for anything. So that's the Latin that is part of the motto of the parachute regiment. No, it doesn't say that, but that's a, you know, that's a fairly Fairly good guess. It's not close to what it is, but it's a good guess as in, you know, you've used your powers of deduction there to work out what it is all about. Oh, okay, so that's it. We built that. So that just goes in there like that. And then her legs pop on. Is that it? Surely not. Because there's loads of parts. Oh, she's got wings. That's why. She's got wings. Okay, so there you go. That's our model. She looks like she's got a really small body though, but really long legs. There we go. She does stand up though. So, oh, maybe not. Got to get the angle right, but yeah, she stands up. Hey, I'm debating on picking up a new model at the friendly local game store. Nice. What's the model you're going for, Joel? What are you thinking about? Are you going to be a convert to the Adeptus Sororitas, the wonderful faction of Warhammer 40,000 that I collect? Are you going to start collecting those? Now, next step for us on our Gundam here is we need to start building out the wings that go on her back and her legs. So that is all that's left by the looks of it. So we're going back to A1 and shifting over there. I've just got to work out what A1 is. A1, here we go. A1 13 and 11. Okay. 13 and 11. I have no idea. Oh, you have no idea on what model? Okay, well, okay, this is good because, right, so you've got to ask yourself, Joel, do you like building models or do you just like painting them? That's your first question you need to answer, Joel. Building models or painting them? Okay, so that's what you need to think about. So stick that in the chat. Tell me whether you like building or painting, and then we can take it from there. And we can give you some friendly local advice. Maybe not so local to you, actually, but we can certainly give you some friendly advice. What are we saying? Maybe the black coach. Oh, what's the black coach? What's that? I don't even know what the black coach is. Matthew's saying, I have Nuns with Guns figures from when they first came out in pewter. Oh, awesome. That's pretty cool. I've got a load of pewter, but I actually didn't have Sisters of Battle. I had Imperial Guard. So I had loads of different Imperial Guard, especially the Katajan Jungle Fighters. They were my favourite that I had in pewter. And then I had some dwarves from the Warhammer Fantasy. So that was my jam in days of old. But now I am a full convert to the Sisters of Battle because I think they're awesome. They're possibly, as I've said before on the channel, the best looking models that Games Workshop have made. It's the most attractive army on the battlefield without a shadow of a doubt. They just look so cool. And anyone that doubts my knowledge here and my authority on the situation, I call you a liar. D2 is the next, so we need to find these little bits here to stick in. So this is our D sheet, and we've got two 2s here, so... Oh, but that's obvious we're going to have to do this twice anyway, one for each side. There we go, we got that bit. I'm not sure what this is, though. But, yeah, we'll find out in a sec once I cut all the edges off of here. So I looked at Vikings. I also looked at Vikings from the Pillage. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know what that is either. So I'm so sort of lacking on knowledge on some stuff. I mean, there's never enough knowledge to go to take on everything, right? But let's just turn that down a little bit. Adrian's nipping off. Catch you later. I've got some Wi-Fi problems to sort out. Oh, Adrian. And it's the last show as well. Well, see you later, mate. All right, take it easy. Stay safe, buddy. Optimus is saying, maybe consider doing some battle reports from the games with your mates. Can do a voiceover live or recording. They seem quite popular. Oh yeah, that's true actually. I think the Black Coach is a Nighthaunt in Sigma. Ah, okay, got you. That's a good point, Optimus, about the videos. I could do that. That's something I could do for sure. Definitely. As long as my buddies are open and okay with me filming possibly them or their models, you know. I would have to ask. But yeah, I think that's more than a possibility. This part here is not even labelled, this like wing bit. I don't even know what that is on here. Just trying to have a look and see what it matches to. I don't see any part on here that's that shape. On my sprue, that is. I have one McFarlane Sister Battle. I've replaced the vinyl head and weaponry with printed bits as the chainsaw was bent and could go round corners. Yeah, sometimes the print on that stuff's not great, but I have the unpainted version of the Sister Battle McFarlane, and I should, you know, be nice at some point to paint that up. Whether I do or not is another question. Whether I get round to it, but yeah. Right, I don't know what this bit is. I really don't understand what that bit is, so I'm just gonna... Oh, that's a sticker! That's what it is. It's one of these silly stickers. Right, okay, so it's this sticker. And it goes round there? Really? Okay. Right. We're on it. We know what we're doing now. I've finally worked it out, people. It's a sticker. That's all it was, is a sticker. It doesn't look very good, though. I don't know. It's okay. Right, that's one side, so we need to do the other side now. Go back to our A sprue. Where's our A sprue gone? Gosh. A1. Here we go. Got that bit and that bit. What's actually quite good about Gundam as well, and I've noticed since sort of working on this model, is you can just push the bits out. You don't even have to cut it out. The actual parts are quite resilient, whereas the bit that's holding it to the sprue is not so. And you can literally just push the parts out that you need, which is quite nice. If you're in a rush or doing it quickly. I mean, I'm not advising you to do that, because you might break your model, but I've just noticed on this one you can. Or if you accidentally pick it up a bit too hard and squidge it, then sometimes the bits come off, which is quite nice. Because there's nothing ever worse when you're building a model and you find that you've got all these pieces to put together and they're an absolute bitch to get off of the sprue in the first place. Nothing worse than that. There we go. Got this little pink bit. So for our geeky topic, it's absolutely anything goes tonight in the conversation. It is our last, for now anyway, show here on Minis and Muscles. So it's our 80th show. We've done 80 and we're going almost 2 years. I can't believe it. Seems like only yesterday I started. But it has been almost 2 years on this journey. Which has been a fun one. But yeah, it is our 80th and last show today. Or certainly the last show in this format or this sort of weekly broadcast. There we go. There's those two bits. What we're saying in the chat, Matt's saying, yeah, I got the artist proof ones to paint up. Yeah, same. I printed a Deathwing Terminator as the Terminators are never available, like unicorn poop. Yeah, that's the thing. You found a load of them went out of out of stock really quickly, and some stayed in stock, and some went. I got a load cheap. I got 2 Space Marines, an Orc, and a Sisters of Battle, all unpainted, and I paid about £7 for them, brand new each. It was really good. Are you going to admit it's you singing the closing theme? Loads of people have said that. So no, I can confirm it is not me that is singing the opening or the closing theme to the show. I did write it. That is my lyrics that are on there. But I used samples of my voice into an AI machine, and it sung it for me. So it's not me singing, unfortunately. Sorry to burst the bubble. Sorry to burst the bubble, guys, but it is not me that is singing on the opening or closing theme tune. But that would be quite funny. Oh, there we go. Just getting out of this section here at the moment, so we need to swap over to E1, wherever E1 is. C E1. And we need number 13. Yeah, the only thing I can criticise Gundam on is the layout of objects on the sprue. They don't seem to be in sequential order. They're just like... they're just placed absolutely anywhere, and that's probably for printing ease, so they can get as much onto the sprue as possible, because if you put it all on there in number order, you might find that you need more sprues. So that's probably why they did it, as a cost-cutting exercise. But it is pretty good. Anyway, our chat for this evening, I've pulled out loads of other sort of bits and bobs to talk about from the geek world. Let's start with Pokemon. So I thought I'd talk about Pokemon, the trading card game, because I like collecting, as we've talked about on the show previously. I love collecting the Pokemon cards. As difficult and as hard as they are to get hold of, I've really enjoyed it. I've collected a couple of sets and got a couple of master sets where I've completed and got them all, which is nice, especially considering master sets really go up in value. So if you're ever thinking about collecting something, I can definitely recommend Pokemon master sets. I didn't pay nowhere near the price that my master set sells for. So whether that's just luck, I don't know, but I certainly didn't pay the price that it's costing. Sorry, I didn't pay the price that it's retailing at on the second-hand market. So that's pretty cool. And I've got some wicked cards over the years, and I think my best pull from... hang about, I've just noticed something here. That can't be the right one because it's the wrong shape. Let's just go back to this A1 sprue. A1-2, that's why. We got the wrong one, that's A11. Yeah, so the best card I ever pulled, I think, was... one of my recent ones actually was a pretty good one. Was Gardevoir... the Gardevoir legendary card from Mega Evolutions, and I got that literally in one of my first packs, and at the time it was selling second-hand raw, just as it is, for like 600 quid. That's a hell of a lot of money for a card that you've just got out of a brand new set. So I was well happy with that at the time. It's gone down a bit since then, but it's still worth a few quid. It's still like one of the major pulls. So I was well chuffed with that. That's probably my most successful card that I've ever got out of Pokemon. I've managed to obtain some other Pokemon cards as well that are pretty good, so I can't complain. But that's probably the best one that I've got out of a packet. How about you guys? Does anyone else that's online collect Pokemon maybe? And if you do, what's the best card you've ever got? I would love to know. Does that just like flop through there? Yeah, by the looks of it. It just flops through there. Don't know what the point of it is, but it does go in there. That way around. Yeah, okay. And then I need A11, which is here. That goes this side. Like that. There we go. You can see how all the push fit goes together though, it's quite nice. And A14 we need as well. So let's take A14 off of the sprue. What else was saying in chat? I was getting McFarlane ones off Amazon for about 20. Now I just upscale regular 40k minis by 400% on the printer. Oh, nice. That's a great way to do it. There's so many 3D printer files for 40k type miniatures. Obviously, they're not true and official, but, you know, it's no big deal if they're not. Apart from if you're playing at a Games Workshop official tournament or something where they won't let you play unless you've got the right models, the real official ones. I don't think anyone's really that worried about it. And they still look very cool. So that's one. Okay. And it's got this like little flappy bit that comes out the side, which I really don't know what the point of it is. But that's that. Okay. So we've got that, and then we need to do exactly the same on the other side as well. So, okay. Yeah, has anyone else got any Pokemon cards? Have anyone else any really good pulls? I do find that pulling packs is like super addictive. And I mean super addictive. Once you start cracking packs of Pokemon cards, it's almost impossible to stop yourself. It's such an addictive feeling, especially when you know like the chase cards and you know what you're going for. It's a really cool thing, and I suppose it's a bit nostalgic for me anyway, because it takes me back as a kid when I collected football stickers, and I used to sort of sit there and rip packets open. And it's the same thing with Pokemon. It's quite a fun experience. I know that sounds a little bit odd as a 42-year-old guy, but it is actually really fun to do. So if you've never ever got some Pokemon cards, just take a look online, see if you can find a set, and then buy a couple of cards, packs of cards, if you can find them, because they're quite hard to get hold of sometimes. Then have a look before you open the packets. Have a look to see what the major pull is in that, so the rarest cards in that set are. And just sit there and open the packets. And I guarantee you will be as excited as I was, like a little kid, sitting there like thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna pull the chase card, blah, 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 and I'm going to get this. It's going to be worth, thousands of dollars type thing. It's a really addictive thing to do. So I thoroughly recommend it. Addictive in a good way, right? I'm not teaching you to go and smoke crack cocaine. I'm just saying, it's a great hobby to have, and it's fun, it's wholesome, it's not hurting anybody, It's a really good little hobby. So if you haven't tried Pokemon cards, go and give it a bash. That is what I'm saying. Right, there's those bits. I need about 9 holograms plus Charizard to come the base set. Oh wow! So you've got almost all of the cards from the base set. That's insane. Great effort, dude. That's really good. Like, wow, hats off to you, man. That's really cool. And the trouble is now with the original 1999 base set, all of the cards, even like the bog standard cards, are so expensive. You'll be paying like 6 to 10 quid even for a crap card that is, produced in its hundreds because it's so old. So to finish that set's like a big achievement. Well done, man. That's super awesome. Pulling packs is super expensive, yeah. It is super expensive, but like, what geek hobby isn't expensive? I don't, if anyone can name a geek hobby that isn't expensive, I mean, I don't personally know one. I think they're all darn expensive. And I wish they weren't so expensive. But they are, is the matter of fact. They are expensive. All geek hobbies. You know, these companies know that us geeks like to spend a few quid, and boy do they make us pay for it. They really do. But you know, it's the fun part of collecting, right? That's what the sort of collector's sort of vibes are. It's just excitement, passion around the hobby, and a load of fun. Even getting packs of Pokemon, which is sometimes quite hard depending on what you're looking for, is exciting in itself. So when you get your delivery of the cards, it's like, oh my god, I've got my Pokemon collection, I've got my Pokemon set coming today. Oh my lord, that's awesome, I can't wait. So even just receiving cards is fun without even opening the packets. But yeah, opening packets can be expensive if you smash through packets like a madman, of course. There we go. Right, okay. So we've got both these with these little sticky out little bits done. And now we've got to merge these sort of two bits together with B130. So let's find B130. B130 and B131 goes the other side. Yeah, so I'm a massive fan of Pokemon. Like I say, got my 2 new ETB boxes, Elite Trainer boxes from the Pokemon Center today. I'm unsure whether to sell them or to keep them for a little bit, because they've gone up, they've like doubled in value. But if I do that, then I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon of every other scalper in the world, and that just annoys me. So I don't think I'm going to do that. But they are worth a lot. I paid like 40 quid for them, and they're now, you know, selling for 80 plus quid, which is crazy, really. Right, we have got this arm first. That goes onto there. And then we need one of these. And that needs to go onto there. And then this one just pops over the top. Like that. I have no idea where that is going, but that's how they go together. Let's get the same for the other one. Tattoo says, I cannot read or write, all I can do is fight. No, that is not what the tattoo says. Another hilarious reference to paratroopers, but yeah. No, it's not. It's not what it says. My suggestion, right, is work out what the language is first. Then go from there. So you've all spotted that they're runes of some sort. Well, what runes are they? That may help you on your quest. So we've got the other side now. And we want that one on there. And this one on there like that. And this onto there. There we go. That's not quite sitting right, that one. There we go. Just had to wiggle it on a bit more. So we've got these two like really weird arms or something. I guess they could be the wings actually. But yeah, possibly. What about Pokemon Go? So we're talking about Pokemon. Let's finish off the Pokemon part. What about Pokemon Go? Does anyone still play Pokemon Go? I do. It's still a fun little game to play. Oh, we need to put PC5 on there, actually. So Pokemon Go is the mobile app for Pokemon where you wander around and collect your Pokemon as you go. That's still a pretty fun app to play. It's really easy. You can play for free completely. Gets you outdoors, keeps you active, gives you something to do whilst you're on a boring walk or whilst you're sat on the bus or whatever it is you're doing. It's quite a nice thing to do. I still play it. Does anyone else still play it? Don't know if you still play it or not, but it's alright. It's not bad. It's nice that it's free. So these little bits here need to go onto there. Like that. Like that. Cool. Oh, and they need to be folded up. Oh, hang about. I think I've put these down the wrong way because they're meant to fold like that. But mine don't fold like that. Mine's the opposite. So I think that needs flipping round. Yep, it does. Oh gosh darn it! Well, it's lucky we noticed actually, because otherwise we'd be right buggered. Now the only thing is you've got to try and carefully pry these open without splitting the plastic. Not as easy as what you might think. Let's get a little one of these. Oh, there we go. So we need to just flip that round. So off that way and on that way. Bloomin' heck. That is tougher. There we go. So now this should fold that way and then up like that, which is correct for the position on the bottom right here. So we just need to swap this one round. Oh gosh. Building disasters. Now, if this was a Warhammer model, we'd really be screwed. Well, kind of. Because obviously this is push fit, right? So a lot easier to pull apart once you put it together. But if this was a Warhammer model, we'd kind of be screwed here because we'd have already glued it. And if the glue's set, you're then going to have to crack the plastic completely. And that doesn't always work that well. So this is quite forgiving. So if you're new to building models, I reckon Gundam is probably one of the best things to start with, actually. Just because it's so user friendly. There you go. So we've got this one that's like the bottom left here. And we've got bottom right, which is that one. Cool. There you go. They're done. We've also got these bits here that need to go onto there. So they need to go onto the waist area. So we need to build these things out. So this is like B2 and B1. This is B2. What we're looking for, 18? Yep. B1, B2 18 and B2 17. B2 17. Ah, dropped that, and then B1 18 and be 217. Gosh, these are tiny little bits. Right, okay. So these obviously go on the ends here. Just go on like that. That's nice and simple. Alright, well, we talked about Pokemon for a little bit. I've not got a huge amount to say about Pokemon at the moment. It's kind of frustrating me purely because it's so hard to get hold of cards at the moment. But it is a good hobby, so if you've never tried it before, do give it a go. It's quite fun, especially some of the Pokemon card trading shows and things like that you can go to. They're pretty cool. So if you get the opportunity, give it a bash. Or any trading card game, to be fair. Most of them, like One Piece or NFL cards or NBA cards or whatever it is you want to collect, they're all pretty fun. Right, so that has got to go up there, like that. But it doesn't really hold. Nah, that can't be right, can it? Like this here? Let's just move that up so you guys can see. This here is saying it's going into that bit and then onto... Oh, okay, okay. It doesn't seem like it's going to hold very well, but... Like that. And then you've got this bit that just sort of just lays there, but that's going to fall out. So I'm not convinced about that. Yeah, it just falls out every time. So although that one's sort of laying there in position, that will fall out if that moves too much. Alright, well, we'll trust it. We'll trust the instructions. Maybe something goes on top of it shortly. Let's just put her there. Where are we going now? Down to here, down to the wings. Alright. We've got D8 and 9. D8 and 9. 8 and 9, which are these two here. Look, you can just put them straight off. That's pretty good. I love that. Speeds up the process. Yes, we spoke about Pokemon. What about Warhammer 40,000? Let's have a little chat about Warhammer 40,000. If you're a fan of Warhammer 40,000, drop it in the chat. Let me know. I want to know what factions you love, what factions you hate. If you play, if you paint. So start talking to me, peeps. Tell me what it is you love about Warhammer 40,000. Whilst I find E1 number 16. E1 number 16, that's D. E1 number 16, which is up here. It's weird because this plastic, this grey one, they just don't snap off like the other ones do. It's slightly more firmer. Viking runes could be the chant from the 13th Warrior, as that is a cracking film. Oh, okay, no, it's not. It's not. But, you know, not a bad guess, not a bad guess. I'm not saying that it's related to that, by the way. When I say not a bad guess, I'm just complimenting you in your skills of deduction of what it could be. However, I'm not saying that it's right. I won't confirm unless you get it bang on and you tell me exactly what it says. I won't confirm because I will keep, because the videos will stay up on YouTube, right? So I'll just keep the competition going in the sense that if anyone ever comes to me and emails me and says, oh, it says this, I'll send them a model. There we go. That pushes together like that. Okay, that's that part, and then we need the next part down. We now need to make two of these, so we need E1, B1, and B1. So this is E1. E1 number 15. which is here. And we need B115, B116. 15 and 16 on B1. That's these little bits. So what we're saying in chat, guys. So Optimus is saying, always liked the Grey Knights, what with them being demon hunters. Yeah, so I'd like to point out Sister Battle are also demon hunters. We have our very own demon hunter, the Demonifuge, who is a sort of, I wouldn't say heretical, but a suspicious Sister of Battle that hangs out with a member of the Eldari, and she sort of appears every now and then, and she is great against demons and the chaos forces. But yeah, Grey Knights are cool, but what I would say, what I don't like so much, and my buddy feels the same way because he plays Grey Knights, he's got Grey Knights. Great army to play, and I think pretty powerful actually, to be honest, because they've got some amazing saves. They really do have some great saves on their models. So when you're playing Warhammer, it's all about, you know, different. You're rolling D6 dice, and it's about how many attacks you get and the strength of the attacks and all the rest of it. And it's also about how good and strong your army is when they're being attacked. So you get saves, and Grey Knights have some amazing saves. Majority of their characters are 2+ save, and sorry, majority of their units are 2+ saves. And that really sucks because when you're not such a strong army, let's use the Sister Battle as an example, but don't have super powerful everything, fighting against an army that's just 2+ save on everything all the time is absolutely gruesome to try, and you really get worn down. So it's quite I think quite a powerful army. They've got some cool little rules as well. Where they can sort of jump up off the battlefield and then disappear again, and you know, so they are, I think, pretty cool. Only thing I don't like is the models themselves. I think the models for Grey Knights suck, and that is purely because the Grey Knights models, as the Space Marine chapter, they haven't gone through the Rubicon. So a bit of lore. So what happens when models go through the Rubicon is they get bigger. They get bigger and stronger. So when Games Workshop decided to remodel all of the Space Marines, they had to sort of write the lore, so the sort of story behind why they're getting bigger. And that was that an Archmagos had developed a thing called the Rubicon, and the Space Marines could go through this hideous trial of pain and experimentation where they become bigger and stronger, and the Grey Knights haven't gone through that, and I believe it's because they feel that going through the Primaris Rubicon is heretical, so they won't do it. Now because of that, they're then very, very small. So if you line up a Grey Knight soldier against a new Space Marine, so to speak, they look tiny, and the models aren't as detailed, and they're not as the print isn't as good, and it's just a bit lackluster. So yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash really, but they're very, very cool. And I like you say, I like the fact they're demon hunters as well. And they've got some really powerful characters and really powerful units. So yeah, Grey Knights, very, very cool. Been collecting figures in 1991. Never played a game. To be fair though, Matthew, I'm sort of saying never played a game as if this is bad. But I'd never played a game, and I'd collected models since about the same time as you. Well, maybe about 94. So a little bit after you. But I started then, and yeah, I hadn't played a game of Warhammer 40,000 until was it last year or the year before? I've not been playing very long, maybe less than 2 years. So, you know, I've just been painting them, and that's all I did. And that's kind of why I started this show, actually, because I just loved painting the models and, you know, and sort of putting my stuff out there and just, you know, enjoying the process. It was really nice. And that's what got me into Warhammer in the first place. Just as a fan of the models themselves, and then I sort of got kind of interested. I thought, well, what about if I did play? What did, you know, how would that be? And, you know, what would that be like? And I then got into it, and it's very, very cool. Never played a game. Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Zinch, and Nurgle are my go-to factions. Got some Eldar Striking Scorpions as well. Nice collection. So yeah, Dark Angels are super cool. Dark Angels are really, really cool. I like Dark Angels a lot. The models are pretty epic. So we're going B1, 14 and 13. Which I think is this one. Yep. So we've got these biggies coming off. Yeah, Dark Angels have got some super cool models. They've got some great characters in the lineup. And they've got some cool rules as well. So a mate of mine's got Dark Angels. And the Lionel Johnson model, the new one, so freaking awesome. I really like that model. It's very, very nice. And it's got some awesome rules, super powerful. But I think they've got one of the strongest Terminators actually across the entirety of Warhammer 40,000. I think between them and oh gosh, Death Guard. I think Death Guard have got the other strong Terminators. So Dark Angels and Death Guard. Death Guard are the apparent baddies, and Dark Angels are the apparent goodies. For those that are not up on the lore. But then again, I guess anything that's good or bad in Warhammer lore is subjective, really, to your opinion of what is good or bad. Because I think they all do bad things. They're not the nicest of people. But that's cool though that you've got all those models. But you should try a game, dude. Definitely try a game. Like, Warhammer's really fun, and there's so many parts to the hobby, right? And this is why I think this is one geek hobby that almost anybody could enjoy, right? You've got the lore. Now, the lore, that's the story behind the game. That is huge. I don't care how good a reader you are not going to finish all the books of Warhammer lore in 2 seconds flat. You know, just on one of the storylines, there's like 40 books or something ridiculous on the Horus Heresy. And they're not thin books either. They're not books that you can do in a day. Well, certainly an idiot like me can't do them in a day anyway. Some people probably could. But they're really thick. Super intense, super gritty, super grimy lore. It's really cool. Like, really cool. So I think Warhammer lore is absolutely epic. I'm currently reading Sisters of Battle lore, of course. But it's phenomenal. It's brilliant. It's so engaging. The books are really well written. And they're super interesting. So I really like the lore for Warhammer. And I would recommend that absolutely anyone tries to give it a go if you have the opportunity to. If you like reading books, loads to it. Loads of content. Loads to it. Well worth it. So you're never going to get bored. Adrian is back! Hello, Adrian. How you doing, my man? You got your internet sorted? I'm glad to see. We need some stickers here. Number 8 sticker. Number 8 sticker. Just this sticker here. Huh, okay. That doesn't seem right, because it doesn't... Have I got that round the wrong way? Is that side? Possibly. Yeah, I think I had it round the wrong way, guys. So, Adrian, we were just talking about Warhammer 40,000 and our favourite factions and our favourite characters and what armies we like to play. So feel free to drop yours in there and tell us all about what you've been painting recently. So, as you may or may not know, I've got a couple of armies. I recently sold an Eldar army. Just because the rules was just getting so many rules, I was just getting confused. So I got rid of a couple just to save my own sanity. And oh dang it, 8 and 9. Oh, okay, I did do the right one. Yeah, so I got rid of a couple just to save my own sanity because it was quite, you know, learning Warhammer's not a 2-second thing. There's a lot to it. There are a lot of rules. It's really good, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of rules to learn. So I recently got rid of an Eldar army, but I do have my Sisters of Battle, of course. I also have an Ultramarines army, which are pretty cool. I've recently started a Black Templars army, which I really love. The sort of, I like the lore of the Black Templars and what they're all about. So I really like that. So I've got those. What's that? Sister Battle, Black Templar, Ultramarines, and I do have Orcs, but I'm about to try and sell my Orc army. So with the release of the new edition, which is 11th edition, coming out in a couple of months, I thought, well, I'm not going to collect Orcs, so I'm just going to get rid of them. So I'm going to sell my Orc army. I've got about 4,000 points of Orcs that I can sell. And that's hopefully going to refund my my bank account after spending way too much on models. Although you never get your money back that you spent, so it will be a loss, but hey, it's not a problem. It's no big deal. My favourite army to play, though, I think in Warhammer, with the armies that I own, depends on my mood. I really like my sisters for the way they look on the battlefield. Orcs are quite fun just to play as a sort of, I don't really care what the outcome is, and you just play for the heck of it. And if you die, you die. If you don't, you don't. Ultramarines are pretty cool because they've got a lot of versatility, a lot of characters. Black Templar I've only played once, and I don't really have all the right characters painted yet, so it's really difficult to assess if I really enjoy the Black Templars just yet. But they are very cool nonetheless. Just checking to make sure we haven't missed a step. No. Okay, so we're over here now. Step 15. What we're saying here, it wasn't Wi-Fi, it was YouTube loading wheel issue. Oh, okay. Alright, well, at least you're back, Adrian. That's the main thing, mate. I thought you were that upset that Minis-N-Muscles is coming to a close after today that you decided to switch off and never turn your YouTube back on. That's what I heard, Adrian. Whether I'm right or not is another thing. C6. Cracky, tell you what, there's a lot more left to do on this model than I actually thought. I didn't think there would be so much. 13 C7. Where's C7? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Yeah, I thought we were kind of done, but actually no, there's so much to do. That's that one, and we need D13. Assume this is D13. So I am looking at, so every Warhammer game, if you're not aware, runs in editions. So we're currently in 10th edition at the moment. And that's been going a few years now, and they've just released, or just announced, the sort of, in a few months, the 11th edition will start. So there's going to be some new core rules about how you play your armies and how the game works, which will be interesting to see when that all comes out. Because it's always interesting to see what they change, so you have to relearn things. Also exciting because your army rules generally change on the release of a new edition or an update in the edition, and with that it could be a really exciting time for your army, because your army could be going from in an inefficient state to like being really well placed in the sort of meta, I guess, of gaming and how they perform on the table. So it's really interesting, and it's quite cool as well to see like the evolution of new characters, or evolution of existing characters, or new characters being brought into your army. So having a new edition is quite an exciting time in Warhammer, generally speaking. There's a bit of apprehension around rules changes and whether Games Workshop will mess stuff up, as they quite often do, but it's exciting nonetheless. So if you're thinking about, and you've been watching the stream and watching me paint Warhammer models and whatnot and talking about it, if you've ever thought about playing Warhammer, now is a really good time to get into playing Warhammer. It's just before the start of a new what is it blooming called? A new edition. So it's really well worth getting into and taking a look. So you'll be getting on the train just at the right time. And if you've been painting models all this time, like some of the viewers, but never played, again, why not? Go check out your friendly local game store. Get down to your local game store. Have a look. There's plenty of them about. And 9 times out of 10, they run local games, local tournaments that you can just join in and have some fun. Well worth it. Well worth going to take a look. So we're just putting these bits together right now. Trying to work out how that goes though. Like that. She's got some very lovely pink wings, I tell you. So we've got that one there, and we've got these two here. So that's... okay, so that's the bit from last time. Okay. So that one goes on there. Like that. And then we need this one, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's any difference either side, and that goes on here like that. Oh wow, okay, that's a heck of a wing. Alright, so that's that, and then we need to do the same for the other side now. Oh, hang about, no we don't. What's this here? Oh, do those pop together? Okay, like that. Alright, so that's that. Then we need to take the two and put them together. What's this bit? Because that's going over the top. I'm not really sure I understand that. Well, we need E114 anyway, and put that on there. E114. What we're saying in chat, I had to come back and poke fun at 40k lore. Well, I haven't heard you poking any fun today, Adrian. So, it's not like you. But to be fair, we haven't really spoken too deeply on lore as such. We're just talking lightly on the topic of Warhammer 40,000. I have realised though, we've run over our halfway point in the show. So I have to stop shortly. Right, we'll do that there. And we'll flick over to here like this, because Minis-N-Muscles halfway through. Sorry, Steve, got to go and get some food. Been battling gastro flu, and this could end messily. Matt, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you joining. Have a good one. Feed up, and I will see you next time. Well, I won't see you next time, but I wish you all the very best. So halfway through our show, for those that have never seen it before, we talk about fitness for 5 minutes. We wouldn't be the place where the brawn meets the paintbrush if we didn't talk about fitness. So I wanted to talk to you guys about fitness for life. And what do I mean by that? Well, like RG was brought back to life with the help of Elder. Oh, okay. Don't you talk about my Robute like that. That's not, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know who Robute is, it's not a pun for booty. Robute Gilliman is a character of the Ultramarines. But we're talking now about fitness for 5 minutes. So what I really wanted to talk about was throughout the whole of the show, and this is the 80th show, and I've talked about this being the last show of Minis-N-Muscles. Now, if anything I can pass on to you is to take fitness for life, all right? Look after your bodies and take fitness throughout your entirety of the remainder of your time on this planet. It's a long-term investment. It's not about... So point one is a long-term investment. It's not about quick gains, like getting something really quickly. It took me like 9 years to get from like 68 kilograms to like 95 kilograms, okay? So it's taken me all this time to get into this shape, and I'm not even perfect yet, or what I would consider perfect. So it's a long progression to get through it all. Point number two, physical health supports your mental health. I've spoken loads on this show over the past 80 weeks about how important your mental health is to help support your physical health. That's why I've paired like geekery and fitness, because I think they go hand in hand. The geekery helps you in mind and soul, and the fitness helps you in body and soul. So it's like a combined wicked effort between the two. Exercise reduces stress, it improves your hormones, it improves your mood overall. So it's really, really important. At point three, adaptability is key. You will get injuries throughout your whole time as you do fitness, all right? We're talking about fitness for life here. You are going to get injuries. You will get injured, especially as you get older. I have found to no end that I've had loads of injuries in my 40s compared to my 20s where I wouldn't get any. So adjust, don't quit, all right? So take the time, think about what you're doing, revise what you're doing, and work around your injuries, but keep going. Point four, consistency over perfection. Perfection will come with consistency. That's what people don't see. You don't have to be perfect on day one. You just have to show up every day and do it again and again and again. And you will find that perfection will come as you go, all right? Small, regular efforts, beats hands down the irrational trainer that trains once a month like a madman but expects results. And point five, you will never, ever, ever regret staying active. I know a gentleman, a young gentleman, should I say, that's in his 90s, and he goes to the gym every day. Every day, this guy, and he's in his 90s, right? He still walks around like he's in his... I've seen 50 and 40-year-olds walk around in worse state than this 90-year-old. Not because he lifts weights or does anything crazy or has some stupid physique. He's just a normal guy. But he goes to the gym, he keeps fit, does what he can. It keeps the body ticking. So it provides and supports longevity in life. It helps with your energy, helps with your confidence, helps with, the fact that you can bend down and pick things up rather than being stuck in a standing position or not being able to get out your chair. All right. Anyway, if you've got any sort of training things that you wanted to talk about, drop it in the chat. If not, I'm going to head back to our Gundam model. That was our muscle moment, the place where the brawn meets the brush, talking about fitness for 5 minutes. Let's zip back down to here because I've got this problem now because I don't know what that bit is. That bit looks like the opposite of this bit, but I'm not sure. We'll stick that. I've stuck that on there, but it says that to go there. But C9 and D14. Let's see if C9, D14, D14. All right, you are coming with me, sir. D14. Here we go. That's D14. And we want C9. This one is C9 down the bottom. There we are. Let's cut these bits off. Do you know what? I hope we finish this this model before the end of the stream. That'll be a bit of a disappointment. I didn't think there was as much to do on this model as there is actually, to be fair. I thought there was a lot less, but actually it's taken way longer than what I thought. So, you know, word of wisdom there. Never underestimate the complexities of a Gundam model, as cool as they are. Never underestimate them. Right, that goes in there like that. And then that goes on there like that. Whoa, look at that for a wing piece, right? That's pretty cray-cray. That's pretty mad, but cool. Mad, but cool. Right, so that's that. That's one. We've now got to build exactly the same on the other side, and we've not got long to do it. Can we do it? I don't know. C5 and E118. C5 and E118. That's that. I want C, E118. Bop, bop, bop. E118. So we spoke a little bit about Warhammer. What about D&D? So we spoke loads on the show about Dungeons and Dragons in the past. What's been your favourite character you've ever played? So what has been your favourite character you've ever played in Dungeons and Dragons? Stick it in the chat. I would love to know what that favourite character is. If you know your favourite character, that is. That's B. I need C. C. C6. So my favourite character in Dungeons and Dragons of all time, I think, is a character I played called Dwim Ironhammer. Dwim was a dwarf, loved a beer, loved a good fight, but was extremely stupid. I rolled for my stats, and I rolled very bad, and I didn't bother to change it or improve it. I just played with it. And he was a very stupid dwarf, but super loyal, super brave, loved getting in a good scrap and a fight, and was just a good guy, was Dwim Ironhammer. But he was super fun to play because, you know, he couldn't contribute to plans or battle plans and anything like that. You know, the best he could come up with was like, yeah, we'll fight them. You know, that was about all he would say. So I would leave all the talking, the negotiation to all the other players, and I would just sort of play the stupid part of Dwim. But it was actually quite fun. And it also meant that you can't really, to play a true character like that, you can't sort of play outside of your character where he starts to answer things that he really wouldn't be interested in or wouldn't know. So it was quite funny just to play that kind of character, because I'd never played a character as silly as him before. And by silly I mean stupid and not very intelligent. But it was actually really, really fun. What character did you most like playing in your games of Dungeons and Dragons? Do you have a favourite character? Or maybe you've watched a TV series of Dungeons and Dragons, a live stream, and you think, oh, I really loved this character. Have you got a favourite character at all? If you have, drop it in the chat. Tell me all about it. Tell me all about it. D12. It's this one. Dungeons and Dragons is a really fun game to play. Again, if you've never played D&D, I would highly recommend it. It's great to play with a group of friends. Yeah, the rules are quite vast and there's quite a lot to do, but you can pick up some pre-made characters and you can keep the rules really simplistic. But it's a really fun game to play because it's not a game that you play where you're boxed in. There are, you know, it's limitless on the options that you choose. And you could play the same storyline twice and it will be completely different outcome, and it will be a completely different game because of how the players interact and do things. And that's why I love D&D for what it is. It's or any tabletop role-playing game for really. That's why I think they're so fun. Because they're crazy, because you don't know what's going to happen next, because things sort of don't always go to plan. It just makes it crazy but fun. And I love that about D&D, and I like the fact that you're not boxed in as well, in the sense of you can do absolutely anything you want to do, literally. You know, within reason, as long as you're not being a complete butthead, you know, you can do pretty much whatever you want in the game. So if you wanted to, rather than go and do the mission, you wanted to just go and sit in the pub and drink and talk to the locals, you can sit in the pub and talk to the locals. You know, it's that kind of game. So it's a super awesome style of game to play. So tabletop role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons being the most famous brand, but there are thousands of other games that you can play. You know, well worth it, well worth investing a little bit of time to just explore them. That if you've got kids, they're great to play with kids, because kids have the most best awesome imagination. So kids like absolutely rock at playing D&D. They really play D&D well, whereas some adults might not play it so well. But kids have a great imagination, so they excel, I personally think, at D&D, whereas grown-ups maybe not so much. There's our second wing made, so we've got two now. Look at that, beautiful wings. Adrian's saying his favourite character was Theron. Yeah, to be fair, Adrian, because I played in a game with Adrian where he played Theron, and I did genuinely enjoy that. Playing with that character, he was very fun. Oh, so that's it. We've just finished our model. Holy moly, guys, we've done it half hour early. Like, the instructions just stop. They don't even tell me how to put the wings onto the character, or do they? Oh no, the instructions don't stop. They now go onto this page, and they're now in part colour. My God, they're so confusing. I thought we'd finished, but we haven't. But that's okay. Right, so we've got these two wings we need to place onto this little thingy here. Okay. That one goes on there as well. Right, turn it round that way. Okay. Then that goes onto the back of... I'm going to take those silly things off. They don't stay on. That goes onto the back of our little robot. Onto here. Pushing on. So she's got awesome wings now. Whoa, look at that. That's pretty smart. That's a pretty impressive model, actually, to be fair. Then we've got this that goes into there, but it doesn't even list it. So we've got this part here, which doesn't list a number of, which is very unhelpful. However, we've got a shield and we've got some other bits that we can pull together. So let's have a look, see what we've got here, because we're like at the end of most of the sprues now. Just checking them before I throw them all on the floor. So we've got this. Does that go on there? Yeah. Nothing on that. We've got this here. So this is really weird because the instructions kind of stopped, and it doesn't actually tell us how to make this any further. So it's kind of a bit weird. So I'm just going off of what I can see. I don't know how to put the rest of this together. I'm just cuffing it. So I'm making this up as I go. But that's alright. I'm sure we'll get there somehow. Okay, so that can't go like that because... Oh, does it? Yeah, it does. That goes across like that. Okay. I think that just stays like that. We've got these two weird sort of pink things like this that are part of the weapon system as well, I think. Ah, okay. They go on there. Like that. They go on there like that. Okay, cool. Got that one. So these are like swords, I guess. So we've got two swords. We've got a gun here. Again, doesn't tell us how to make the gun. But there's only a few parts left, guys, so it can't be that difficult. So I'm just going to cut out the last bits that I can find. We've got two bits over here. There we go, one bit. Cool, this really is making it up on the spot because I have no clue how to do this. Literally no clue. I'm just cutting out the bits that I can see and thinking, right, that's got to be something, that's got to be something. I feel like I've missed some instructions somewhere. I do feel like I've missed something because it's just like dropped to the last bit and it doesn't really tell you much. Right, let's have a look here. So we got this part. Okay, cool. So let's take the edges off with our trusty knife. Again, if you use a knife, just be careful, especially if you're using it like I do. Yeah, I like D&D a lot. It's a really, really fun game to play. So, tabletop role-playing games are really fun, full stop. So if you want a bit of a, you know, if you fancy yourself as a budding actor, or maybe you just want a bit of escapism, or perhaps what drew me to tabletop role-playing is sitting down at a table with a group of friends that didn't involve mobile phones, and sitting on a screen or anything like that and just talking with your friends and having a laugh. D&D does that, or tabletop role-playing games do that to a T. They really do. They allow you huge amounts of escapism. They allow for communication skills building of. They allow for laughs and, you know, perhaps even in some points maybe some emotional sad points in the story where you've grown attached to a character and they die or something. It's just endless coolness. It really is. So I thoroughly recommend that everyone give a tabletop role-playing game a go at some point. It really is worth it. You should definitely try. Okay, that one goes there, like that. Got little bits of plastic to cut off. Oh no, I just missed one bit, that's all. And then that goes through there like that. Is that what it's saying? I don't really know how that... Ah, okay. There we go, like that. So that all pushes in. Like that. So there's his gun with a floppy handle. Or his plasma rifle or whatever you want to call it. He does have some stickers on here, so 5 and 4. Okay, so the blue ones. I would say the only thing I'm not that keen on with these Gundams is the stickers. I think they're pretty crap, to be honest, and they're not that great at fitting in the right place either. So yeah, take them or leave them. They're okay, but I wouldn't say they're the be-one end-all of the model. I much prefer the better parts of this model are things like the building of the model, the ease of assembly, the fact there's no glue needed. You know, that's far more interesting. We've got that, and that goes on the end here. Gosh, if I can actually push it on. Some of the push fit is really tight though. I would say that. So it's a bit fiddly when it comes to some of these bits. So bear with it. I'm just going to slightly bore out that hole just so the opening is a bit bigger. So it looks like my hole is not quite perfectly circular. So for some reason, there we go. And just take off these little bits. So we've spoken about D&D, we've spoken about Warhammer, we've spoken about Pokemon. What about retro gaming, right? I watched a really interesting program the other day talking about retro gaming and how different it is to modern day gaming in a good way. So it's actually better because it enables you to experience failure. It enables you to see and work out puzzles and things like that. Oh, those clip together. Oh. So it's like a whole big dual lightsaber thingy. That's quite cool. And we've got a sticker to go on here. Sticker for the shield. Does that go on there? Yeah, stickers don't fit that well. But retro gaming is so much better than, I think, modern gaming. It's simple, no internet required. You can take it wherever you go, do whatever you want with it. They've got hypnotic music in retro gaming. It's pretty cost effective, really, unless you're trying to collect a really good condition set. You can buy a whole console with plenty of games for far less than you can buy a PlayStation Blooming 5. And also with these, once you buy the game, it's yours and you own it forever. Unlike, again, digital gaming as it's going forward now, if you buy it, you have to then give it back if they ever decide they want to take it back, because it's a digital copy. Right, okay, so we've got the gun, we've got the shield, we've got this little thingy here. How did your game fair go? Really good, thanks, Adrian. It was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It was very, very cool. Apparently now, with these, this comes out and comes over like that. Ah, okay, so it's like battle cannons. So when she goes into battle cannon mode, she can then shoot people like that, which is quite cool. That's quite sick. Let's see if we can put that into her hand, and I don't know how that goes into her hand though. Let's see if we can get that in there. No, we can't. But maybe we could do this, look. Take that apart, that goes in there like that. There we go. Right, so this is our finished Gundam model. So let's just move all this out of the way. Let's zoom out a little bit. There she is in all her glory. Let's move that back. What do we reckon? For a first Gundam go, not a bad job, I don't think. Pretty cool. It's all push fit, it's all easy to build, stickers are fairly easy. The instructions aren't great, but they're not terrible. I've seen a lot worse before. And the model's alright. It's pretty cool. It'll go on my shelf. Got a little gun to go with it as well. So that is pretty cool. Not a bad model at all. I think she shall stay on the shelf and enjoy her time. Let's swap cameras. Over to there. Look at that. So if I bring Gundam Girl up to the screen so you can see, there she is in all her glory, the massive cannons over the top, and then a sort of battle thing there. How is the size versus Rabute Guilliman other models? Well, Guilliman is probably only comes to about here, about mid, just over her waist, so including the wings and stuff, she's pretty big. In fact, if I go and get Guilliman, I can show you. That'll be easier. 2 seconds. Oh. So, here's Guilliman. This is the Guilliman that we did the other week. Okay, and this is her. So you can see here, if we put base to base, he's only up to her waist, really. The actual model of Guilliman himself is a lot smaller because he's on a base. Whereas she doesn't even have a base, so she's massive. Look at the wingspan on this chick. Woo-wee. What a model. So that is pretty cool, right? A pretty cool model. I'm fairly impressed with my first go at Gundam. It's not a perfect go by any stretch of the imagination. However, I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it, how it went. The instructions are a bit weird, but, you know, I'll take it. Apparently these are guns that come out the side of her as well. So they come out like that. That's a weird gun though, right? To go out like that. Yeah, that's a weird gun. Look, look at that. They're a bit strange, these models, but they're still cool. I think it's a pretty cool model. I'm glad I built it because it was quite fun. Dead simple, dead fun, dead quick, and it actually does look pretty impressive. Now, like when you put it up like this and you think, oh, okay, it's quite an impressive model overall, right? It's nice, the quality's nice, the plastic's good, feels good, and it's a good little model. Looks cool. So she shall go on my shelf and take pride of place. Let's cut off a little bit of plastic that was sat there. Yeah, so there we go. Not mad. Don't mention his boxes of shame, Optimus. Have you ever brought a model and kept it boxed unopened? Yeah, absolutely I have, Optimus. I'm not sure if you were around when we did the box of shame. So in one of my earlier episodes I went through my box of shame, so I looked at all the models that I bought over the time. You know, I can see them there. There's stuff there that is still sealed, that I haven't opened, that's still sealed. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes that are still sealed. And that's just from what I can see at the edge there. I have not heard you speak about Digimon, fan or no. To be honest, I've never played Digimon. So it's probably something that I would look at and play and enjoy. It's another geeky hobby, right? But no, I've never played it before. Ooh, just had to have a sip of water or Pepsi actually. Pepsi Max, sugar-free. But no, I've never played Digimon. Not through not wanting it, but I think it came out... I think it was out on the DS, I think it came out on, didn't it? Digimon? I think it came out on the DS, and then that was sort of... I was already in the army by that point and sort of head down doing that kind of stuff, so I didn't really experience Digimon in its full capacity. But I'm sure it's a pretty good game. It's a geek game, so it's going to be fairly good, right? Optimus said, I know all about your box of shame at one of the first streams I caught. I meant collectible models. Oh, okay, right, okay, got you. Sorry, I misinterpreted what you were saying. So do I have any collectible models that I've never opened? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've got any. No, not models. No, I've got other collectibles that I've bought and never used or opened or whatever. So I've got like some WWE wrestling belts, for example, that I bought and never. I've got them in a box, and they've just in a box. I do have those 2 Pokemon boxes over there from the Pokemon Center that I've not opened, so I've got those technically. But no, nothing else. I don't think model-wise. No, not collectible models. No, not really. I don't think I have, Optimus. Unfortunately, I'd love to have. I'd love to have been more clever with my life and saved things and kept things in boxes, but I wasn't that type of person. So I just opened it up and got all excited and played with the toy or whatever it was as a young lad. So yeah, unfortunately not. Otherwise, I'd be rolling in a mint worth of items. But yeah, I have seen this actually. There is, if you do get yourself a what do you call it, a Gundam, there is a transfer sheet that you can put a load of transfers on, so like some blossoms and things like that. So that's quite cool. I'm not going to do that to my one. I'm just going to keep it as it is because I think it's quite cool as it is. And also the stream is, I'm not going to do all the transfers in 11 minutes. There are some stickers that I missed, but I didn't see anything, so I'm not sure what they're from. But the instructions were really vague and they kind of jump around a bit. Oh, what else should we talk about for the last couple of minutes? Well, we've spoken about the main things that I play, really. So, Pokemon, Warhammer, Dungeons & Dragons, or tabletop role-playing games, retro gaming, all these hobbies. And I think this kind of message from me as my last stream is that all these hobbies are really cool, right? The geek world is pretty vast, and it has such good, fun things to do. 99% of people will deny that they know of it or they think it's cool. But as soon as you get them into it or start playing the game with them or show them this or show them that, they'll be like, oh my God, this is really good. I really enjoy that. And you won't get them to stop talking about it. I even remember, at my job, I was talking about being into geek hobbies. And sort of they all laughed and I said, but I bet every single one of you is a geek inside and you just don't admit it. And then later on, I was talking to someone about something and lo and behold, they were a geek and they'd read books. And I was like, see, what did I say earlier? That geek hobbies are for everybody and people just don't realise half the time that they're an actual geek. So, and this is kind of the reason why I started the stream in the first place, was to talk about geeky fun stuff and just to have a bit of a commonality with people. So to share my experiences with people, to talk about stuff that I really enjoy and have had fun doing, and just to get other people passionate about it. And I guess that kind of culminates as to why, or part of the reason as to why I thought, well, maybe it's time to hang up my streaming boots for now. Because my kind of aim was to reach as many people as possible and talk about geeky things and get people excited about it. And I just think that I haven't really achieved what I set out to aim. For whatever reason, I don't think I've reached perhaps my target audience. I don't think I've sort of hit as many people as what I would have liked to. I mean, metaphorically, as in got out and reached those people that I wanted to reach. So I think, you know, and that's kind of built on part of the reason why I thought, well, now is the time to sort of retire the Minis and Muscles stream, even though it is a fun thing to do and I enjoy doing it and I enjoy chatting to people. I thought it was the right time to do it because, you know, it's been going for quite some time. We were at episode 80, which seemed like a good number to stop on. And, you know, I need to sort of replan on how things could go in a stream and how it could work. So, you know, that's kind of my rationale and reason behind it. Adrian's saying my Saturday night game isn't on tomorrow, so I'm going to the cinema. It's the 40th anniversary of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Nice! Bueller. If you remember that scene from the start of the movie. What a classic movie that is. Another great and kind of part of... Is it part of being a geek? Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I don't know. Maybe retro films you could include in that. So yeah, you could probably include Ferris Bueller's Day Off as part of the sort of retro geeky kind of scene. Because it is really. But great movie, Adrian. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a really good time watching that and you have a fun evening tomorrow. For me, for my next few Fridays now, or for the remaining Fridays anyway, I will be probably still painting of some sort, or going out and enjoying the sunshine and getting some steps in, having a walk, because I love my evening walks. Might be playing a few more online games perhaps, but I will continue to do my geek stuff. And again, I hope that what I've spoke to you guys about during these 80 shows that I've done will inspire you to continue to do geeky things. Whether that is, you know, trying a tabletop role-playing game for the first time, or painting a model for the first time, whatever it is, I hope that I've inspired you. And I have had some messages from people previously to say, oh, I've watched a show and it's inspired me to do X, or it's inspired me to do Y. And I'm really grateful for that I could reach people that I have reached and inspire you to do something good. I also hope that you think about what I've been saying, especially today, around the muscle moment and fitness is for life, and how geek culture and fitness merge together. A healthy mind and a healthy body is really important, especially in today's modern world, with the stresses that are out there, with the bull crap that we have to go through. So I think these two things go hand in hand to keep you sane. So again, if you could go out there and start a new hobby, a geeky hobby, or if you can get out there post-show and do some fitness, I would absolutely recommend you to do that. It's really, really important. Keep your mind active with healthy things, keep your body active, and keep that health drive going. So it will honestly improve your life overall if you do, even if it's just walking, even if it's just playing a card game. It will help, trust me. But apart from that, I wanted to say a big thank you to absolutely everybody who's tuned in every week. So for those of you that have been with me since day one, for those of you that have, you know, joined halfway through, those of you that are new to the game and only been watching a week, or whatever it is, thank you. Genuinely mean it. Genuinely mean it. I have had a wicked time doing the stream. Some days are tougher than others when there's not many people on or not many people talking. So they are the tougher days where you sort of have to continue to talk and find things to talk about to entertain people or keep people watching. But that's been a good challenge, and I've really enjoyed that challenge in itself. But I thought, you know, it would be nice just to sit back, relax, and let someone else do some talking and some streaming. I can sort of take account of what I've achieved so far and maybe put that to good use in the future. I don't know. I don't know if the stream will come back. It might just be that I will do 6 months off and then go, right, I want to get back into it again, and I'll start all over again. I don't know. But it might just be that I come with a different approach. Again, I'm not sure. I might restart Minis and Muscles, but I won't be painting miniatures. I'll just be gaming. Adrian's saying in the chat, it's been a nice journey. It has been a nice journey. It's been a wicked journey. And I've really enjoyed it. So I don't know what will happen for the future, but I do know that today, for now at least, is the last Minis and Muscles show. So yeah, thank you to every single one of you. I have thoroughly appreciated it. It's been really good. So, for the last time, for now at least, stay safe, stay geeky. Don't worry about subscribing. Don't worry about sharing the channel with your granny. And making people sign up. Although, do you know what? I'll probably stop doing the lives and all of a sudden the channel will take off. And then I'll have to restart it again. But that'll be funny if that did happen. But yeah, thank you. Stay geeky. Stay doing some fitness. Get yourself out there at the weekend. Do something fun. Hang out with your buddies. And I will see you all soon. All right? Stay safe. Thank you very much. And for the last time, enjoy the outro song. And no, it's not me singing. It is my lyrics. It is a sample of my voice, but it's not me. Okay? Take it all easy. Matt's saying, I only watched 3 streams, including this one. Hope you change your mind. Oh, Matt. Sorry, dude. Yeah, you joined right at the end. But I may change my mind. But there's always the videos to go back to and watch. So you can go back and watch them, Matt. There are some really good videos. I would definitely check out as many as you can. But there's some like that I do on my pile of shame, for example. That's a great stream where I get all of my pile of shame out and I just go through it box by box and we add it up and it's bloody disgusting. But yeah, thank you, Matt, for joining. Even though you're late to the game, I appreciate you still for contributing to the stream in every way that you have. And I will see you all very soon, I'm sure, whether it's out and about. If I do see you out and about and you see me, I don't know, walking around some town in the UK, come and say hello. It'd be lovely to hear from you. But like I say, from the last time, here is the outro music. Thank you very much and goodbye. It's in my sense, we're heroes, right? The dying world so much.